Hi everyone! Today I will be painting a drawing using the Ohuhu alcohol markers. It's not my first time using these markers, so here are a few drawings I've done before. I discovered these markers because of this artist here on YouTube. She's really cool. In this video I'm going to use these Kala series markers and these Honolulu series pastel color markers. The markers come with these swatch cards to help you try out the colors and pick the one you want to use. I've already filled out the color swatches and I love the colors of these markers. They also include a colorless blender marker to mix the colors, and they also come with a plastic sheet so the ink doesn't bleed through the pages underneath. These were the first alcohol markers I used, and they are the only ones I have, so I can't compare them with other brands, but I can compare the prices. The brand Copic also has alcohol markers. For example, a box of 72 Copic classic markers costs €556 and 96 cents, which means each marker in that set would cost €7 and 74 cents. I did the math for a few other Copic sets, not all of them, and the individual price for the pens in those sets range from €4 and 20 cents to €23 and 21 cents. In Ohuhu marker sets, like this 320 color set, which costs €226 and 95 cents, the individual price would be 71 cents. In most Ohuhu color sets, the individual marker price is less than €1, but the individual markers that aren't in a set cost €2 and 95 cents or €1 and 95 cents, depending on the series. I've never used Copic markers before, so they might be quite good and worth the price. If the price isn't a concern for you and you're undecided between buying Copic or Ohuhu markers, I recommend watching this video. It compares Copic and Ohuhu markers, and I'll leave the link in the description. But if you want something cheaper, you can always choose Ohuhu, as the quality is very similar to Copic from what I've seen. The characteristic smell of alcohol-based markers is caused by the solvents in the ink. The main one is usually isopropyl alcohol. For many people, the smell can be strong and unpleasant, causing some discomfort. This happens because isopropyl alcohol is a volatile solvent, which means it evaporates quickly. That's what creates the strong odor. I get headaches and feel dizzy after using alcohol markers for too long, so you should always work in a well-ventilated space. Now, to start painting, the first thing you need is a really light sketch. I'm using an eraser I've seen many artists use. It's called a kneaded eraser. I don't know why mine is so hard. It feels like I'm erasing with a rock, but it's very useful because it doesn't completely erase the drawing, it just makes it lighter. And why am I doing this? If the pencil sketch is too dark and you go over it with an alcohol-based marker, the marker will drag the graphite and its color will become slightly altered. I decided to start painting the character's neck because I've never painted a character in my art style with alcohol markers before. I didn't want to start with the face and ruin it. So this way I could test the colors that I was going to use on the face to see how they blended together before moving on to the main part of the drawing. You should always start painting with the lightest tone and then move on to the more saturated and darker ones. To achieve the exact shade you want, you might need several layers, or if you need a color that isn't in any of your markers, you can mix several colors until you get it. It's not difficult. I was so nervous about ruining this drawing, but it went really well. It's one of the prettiest drawings I've ever made. It was a really enjoyable process. For me, using alcohol markers is like doing digital art but on paper, if that makes sense. This is the finished drawing. What do you think? I really like it. I also like the Ohuhu alcohol markers. They are really good. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!